first off, it is incredibly, I think it's offensive for the same ideology that's running our government right now, that has the majority in Congress, the same ideology, to think that their refusal to keep a story straight and their bungling of messaging is somehow all y'all's fault. And I made that point to this reporter. I said, look, the messaging on the vaccine, on the rollout, has been politicized. It is a historical shambles. The advice is recklessly contradictory. And I'm going to get into a bunch of headlines here in a second. The absence of information is causing people to speculate. Here's the thing. I have not encouraged or discouraged anybody from getting the vaccine. My job on this issue as a host is to present to you every bit of fact, regardless of whether or not it confirms any narratives, regardless of whether or not the blockheaded, not really fact checkers at Facebook like it, but to give you every bit of evidence, regardless of narrative. And then here's the difference that I don't think a lot of people in media understand, because I can't tell you how many times I've been asked this about all of you. Unlike some of our colleagues on the left, I actually respect your decision-making capabilities. And I trust all of you to act in the best interest of yourselves and your families. I don't believe that any of you are going to sit here, well, how can I mess with my family today? I know. Let's not get that. No, nobody sits here and does this. I trust all of you who listen daily to act in your own best interests and the best interest of your family. And that's something that people can't seem to understand. So when I said that people are speculating in the absence of information and transparency, this is what I'm talking about. Do you remember we talked about this, the CDC, 335 kids, they said out of what, 7.5 million, or no, 75 million? 335 kids. Oh, those are coronavirus fatalities. And then the Wall Street Journal raised their hand and said, no, we object. You got that. If you sign up to my newsletter and you get the subscription, then you got this already. You have this link. The Wall Street Journal partnered with Johns Hopkins, and they did a study where they said, actually, we've noticed that you haven't verified a single one of these fatalities. We noticed that you haven't verified any bit of this, any of this. And in fact, when we looked at it, we discovered that all 335, there are underlying comorbidities here that actually contributed to the fatalities and not coronavirus. So you're basing this you're basing this all off of what? Well, it hasn't stopped. The Washington Post has now asked, hey, CDC, where's the data? And this is why. So the CDC, when they officially changed their position on masking, they said that their all of the data that they had on the Delta variant, that is what they based their decision on. Very important, everybody, they said. They're basing their decision on these facts. Okay, so Washington Post is like, all right, so where's the data, though? I'm looking at the story. Here's the headline. CDC reversal on indoor masking prompts experts to ask, where's the data? New recommendations from federal health officials this week on when vaccinated Americans should wear face masks came with a startling bolt of news. People who have had their shots and become infected with the Delta variant can harbor large amounts of virus just like unvaccinated people. That means that they could become spreaders of the disease and should return to wearing masks indoors in certain situations, including when vulnerable people are present. But the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention did not publish the new research. Here's the key. In the text of their updated masking guidance, and parenthetical here, it's at cdc.gov/mmwr/volumes. The agency merely cited, quote, CDC COVID-19 response team unpublished data 2021. Scientists have their own message. Show us the data. In fact, Greg Gonzalez, who is an associate professor at the Yale School of Public Health, says they're making a claim that people with Delta who are vaccinated and unvaccinated have similar levels of viral load, but nobody knows what that means. It's meaningless unless we see the data. Now, remember when Rochelle Walensky was talking to reporters just Tuesday, and we played this audio, she kept going. Remember, she said new scientific data, and we were like, well, where is it? They said, oh, it's going to be published imminently. So far, they say it's going to be published tomorrow. But here's the other shoe that's dropping. No one actually knows how much the one unnamed study cited factored into the CDC's decision-making process. And in fact, here's the other thing. It's now being suggested that what they're discussing, the CDC's, their credible health information, the study that they're trying to use to justify new mask rules. So the speculation on Twitter all last night and today is that apparently it looks like it was based on a non-US approved vaccine. Furthermore, some of the discussion from scientists and medical researchers today that I was looking at right before I actually came on air is that it was based on a vaccine that was administered in India and was actually denied under review here in the United States for administration. Yet that's what the CDC, according to speculation from scientists and medical researchers out in public on social media, that's what they're saying is the citation that the CDC is using for their mask mandate.